Scores of candidates officially nominated today. COVID deaths continue to climb, and over 50 migrants were apprehended. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Friday, August 27th. Nomination day for the country's upcoming general elections ended at 12 noon today, and now all those who will vie for the 2021 general elections have officially had their names added to the ballot. JCN's news reporters were on the ground in the constituencies where leaders of various political parties threw their hats in the race and presented their nomination papers. Our Laurencia Smith was at the Gambia Primary School as the Free National Movement, Progressive Liberal Party, Democratic National Alliance, and independent candidates officially became nominated.
Incumbent for the Free National Movement, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, Progressive Liberal Party, Ronnie Duncombe, Democratic National Alliance, Kendall Lewis, and Chelly Moss, an independent candidate, were all nominated today at the Gambia Primary School for the Western New Providence constituency of Kalani. Around 9:30 this morning, more than a dozen supporters lined the street leading to the school with cowbells in hand while shouting, "Rocking with Doc," as the Prime Minister provided the returning officers from the Parliamentary Registration Department with the necessary documents, which included their $400 deposit that they will get back if they win 1/6 of the votes in the constituency. This is Dr. Minnis' fourth time vying for the Kalani seat.
Kalani has always been good to me. I've done my best. I'm certain they would support me again. It's been a great experience. And when I finally retire, I'm certain that whoever replaces me in Kalani will follow and will continue the excellent job that we have done.
A sea of gold supporters in a motorcade led Mr. Duncombe into the Gambia village. Mr. Duncombe has a number of years in the tourism industry, and he's confident that he will be victorious on September 16th.
I'm a resident here for over a decade, and it's just time for one of us to truly make a difference in our community. Kalanians, we are not. We are not worried about it at all. A track record in helping us in our community to speak for itself.
Mr. Moss, who's vying as an independent, is no stranger to politics, as he ran in the Centerville constituency at least twice, both times against former Prime Minister Perry Christie. He says he has what it takes to defeat Dr. Minnis.
So in order for it to be a new day, we need better leadership. In order for it to be about our future, we need better leadership. It's not my first time, it's not my second, it's actually my third. My first two times was going up against Prime Minister Christie. And, you know, I was fortunate in being a part of a component to get rid of him. So now our country is still in problems. So we need to get rid of Prime Minister Minnis. So I'm here to take on Prime Minister Minnis.
Meantime, Mr. Lewis of the DNA was the last candidate to officially hand over his documents. In 2017, he ran as an independent in Yamacraw.
It feels wonderful that the constituents of Kalani will entrust me with being their possible next candidate and MP, and the DNA has entrusted me to possibly represent them in the House of Assembly.
COVID-19 guidelines were strictly enforced as authorities only allowed the press, candidates, and their spouse on the school grounds. The Kalani constituency now has 4 candidates on the ballot for the 2021 general elections. I'm Laurencia Smith for JCN News.
Now, our Tyler Simonet was on the ground in Cat Island for the nominations of Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador candidates. She spoke with all of them and files this report.
Well, it was not only New Providence that came alive on this nomination day. Cat Islanders had their fair share of action as the candidates came to the office of the administrator in New Bight, Cat Island, to be nominated for the seat of Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador. Now, Cat Island is currently known as a Progressive Liberal Party stronghold, the position held by leader of the opposition, Philip Davis, for nearly 20 years. Mr. Davis expresses that he has no doubt that he will take his seat. When asked how confident he was about becoming the next Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Mr. Davis says this.
I'm very confident that the country recognizes that change is needed, and the change that they need is right here. That's why I invite the Bahamian people, get to know me. The Cat Island, San Salvador people, Rumkey people, they know me. Get to know me as they know me, and they will be assured that their future and their livelihood will be in good hands. I have much little concern about my constituency because, as I said, my people know me and they will act accordingly. What I'm concerned about is about the election generally in this period of COVID-19. We have to be safe, continue to be safe. We have to ensure that we don't allow this COVID experience to suppress the vote.
Representing the Free National Movement is Felicia A. Knowles, who says that she is so dedicated to her cause that she moved from New Providence to Cat Island to experience the islanders' problems firsthand and to aid them. When asked how she felt about being nominated in a known PLP stronghold, she says this.
All this supposed stronghold needed was somebody who has a true love for the island, has an appreciation for the battle the people have been through for the past 20 years, and who actually has a plan to bring this island to make it a jewel that it is in the past. I have the support. I am a Cat Islander. I have family from the north to the south. My navel string, I wasn't born here, but my navel string was buried here. I've been in Cat Island every summer break. I come here every year, not once a year, multiple times through the year. So, stronghold, it used to be.
Angelino Cooper from the Coalition of Independents was also on the island to be nominated. He says he feels confident throwing his hat into the ring as the country is in need of a change.
What we want to bring economic growth and Bahamian ownership to each individual. Most parties are campaigning on contracts, and there are only a limited amount of contracts that persons get. So it doesn't matter how many persons are campaigning for them, only a few will get it and a few will get left out. We, the coalition, want to bring a change and economic growth to everybody, where no one gets left out as a constituent.
General elections will be held on September 16th, 2021, with advance polls happening 1 week before on September 9th. For Jcn News, I'm Tyler Simonet.
And the Carmichael constituency was bustling this morning with multiple motorcades in support of candidates vying to represent the people in the upcoming general election. First on the scene was Democratic National Alliance leader Orinthia Komolafe. She was escorted onto the premises with a mini Junkanoo rush out. After officially being nominated, she says she's confident that the DNA will make a difference.
This is our third time going into a general election. We believe that the third time is the charm. We've put a lot of work in over the last 4 years. In fact, it was because of our agitation and our advocacy that we have brought the government, the current administration, to this extent now, where we are holding a snap election. We've put the work in. We've held the government's feet to the fire. We've been on the ground. We've been addressing the concerns of the Bahamian people, and we believe that they are going to reward us in this next election.
Progressive Liberal Party candidate Keith Bell criticized the Prime Minister's decision to call an early election in the midst of a global pandemic and a recent surge in COVID-19 cases in country.
Well, they have several forms that they have to bring. They have to bring proof of being a Bahamian. They have to declare their assets. They have to have a form where they have the persons have nominated them. Most of them are bought there are persons in their constituency. You need at least 5 people in your constituency to sign your nomination form to say, okay, so at least that's, and then you have the situation where most of the persons who represent parties would have bought a letter from their party saying that they are the official candidate for their political party.
A total of 6 candidates have officially been nominated for the Carmichael constituency. That's independent candidate O'Brien Knowles, DNA leader Orinthia Komolafe, PLP candidate Keith Bell, Deputy Prime Minister and F&M candidate Desmond Bannister, Charlotte Green from the Bahamas Coalition of Independents, Samuel Allen Johnson from the Kingdom Government Movement, and Glenn Roll from the Grand Commonwealth Party. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.